It's kind of surreal, but after 3 years of remaking the Super Nintendo game Plok, it's finally time to add the last world, and it's easily the strangest one yet. This one requires a lot of new enemies and vehicles. In order to reach this world, we must first descend into the depths below. Welcome to the Flea Pit. This is the map layout for the Flea Pit, and each level contains a present to assist Plok on his journey. Inside each is a vehicle or power-up that Plok uses to complete that level. We don't know who left these presents, but they are extremely powerful in helping Plok get to the end of a level. Some of these vehicles haven't appeared anywhere else in the remake yet, which means a lot more work for me. These levels feel different from everything that came before, not just because of their massive scale or how difficult they were to build, but because Flea Pit is meant to feel dark, organic, and hostile. Many of these levels start with an annoying mechanic, these moving platforms. I actually debated removing them entirely. They're slightly frustrating in the original game, and recreating their behaviour wasn't straightforward. Unlike the moving platforms I've already added, these platforms react to player attacks. Shooting them in the direction that they're already travelling will speed them up, and shooting them in the opposite slows them down. I also added audio feedback so you can instantly tell whether it's been sped up or slowed down from your attack. But the environment isn't the only thing that makes this whole world feel different. The enemies here are pretty alien compared to their surface counterparts, and unlike standard levels, you don't need to defeat every flea to progress. The goal is simply to survive long enough to reach one of these gates at the end of the stage. The first enemy variant is the flying flea. These spawn from cracked eggs scattered throughout the levels. They only take one hit to destroy, but they track the player aggressively. They also despawn if they fall too far behind, which helps keep them balanced. Next to what I ended up calling pea shooter fleas in the code, mostly because they reminded me of Plants vs Zombies. These stay stationary, take multiple hits to defeat, and constantly fire projectiles. Then there are flea cannons. Again, no clue on their actual cannon name, but I mean, come on. They're cannons. They fire projectiles while also moving and jumping like normal fleas, making them much harder to predict. And there is one more flea type, but that one makes sense to talk about later on. Flea Pit relies heavily on vehicles. We've covered a lot of these in the past devlogs, but there's a few new ones here. There's a rocket truck, a laser firing UFO, and a tank. Each vehicle needed to be set up and tweaked independently. The big change for the tank is that it doesn't have recoil when firing, which is a welcome change considering some later sections involve circular moving platforms that are easy to fall off. As you know, every world in Plok ends with a boss fight, and Flea Pit is no exception. It's time to talk about the Flea Queen. In this fight, Plok gets a new power-up involving spring pads that automatically force him into high jumps. I added the ability to quickly drop downward to make dodging projectiles feel less random and more skill-based. He can also fire a new projectile, which I think is supposed to be silly string or confetti? I don't know, but it comes out of a can. Either way, it makes landing hits much easier. The Flea Queen has several attack states. In one phase she becomes airborne and either fires projectiles or lays eggs. These eggs hatch extremely quickly into baby fleas. These are the final flea type. They die in one hit, but if you don't deal with them immediately, they aggressively jump toward the player. She can also drop to the ground, switching sides each time. During this phase, she will fire several shots, and the player can finally deal damage. Eventually, the Flea Queen is defeated. That completes Flea Pit, which means it was time to finally add the ending. I created a short animation recreating the original scene where Plok falls asleep in his chair and occasionally wakes up. I also built a system that will automatically credit everyone who submitted an audio track. I felt it was important to properly acknowledge the original developers as well. So once the remake credits finish, they transition into the credits for the original game. Since Flea Pit contains a large number of levels, I'll be uploading a separate full gameplay compilation for this world rather than showing everything here. So what's next? While it's now time to sunset this project, there are still a few videos that I want to make before fully moving on. I'm planning a retrospective covering the overall development of the remake, which may include a few final tweaks or additions, I also want to make a full video focused on what I learned during the project. Along with some shorts, there will also be 2 full gameplay videos, one featuring remix music and the other the original soundtrack. The remix version may take slightly longer to release to allow time for any final audio submissions. I'll also upload the full remix soundtrack. I have a few ideas of where to take the channel next, but if you have suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for following this project. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.